Welcome to Embassy Ceilings, innovative ceiling system with unique features. This webinar is sponsored and presented by Embassy Ceilings. My name is Tawen, AWCI's Education Program Manager. At this time, I'd like to introduce our presenter. Manon Lecomte is the Business Development Manager, North America for Embassy Ceilings. She has more than 25 years of experience in the industry, with deep exposure to sales-driven activities that support business growth and market development. Manon currently leads and oversees strategic expansion initiatives in collaboration with distribution partners across high-demand markets. So welcome, Manon.
Thank you, Tao. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for taking some time off your busy schedules and being with us today. I will be presenting most of the presentation, but we have the pleasure of having Alexis Boulanger with us today. He's our president, and he will introduce Embassy Ceilings. Who is Embassy Ceilings, and a little bit of history on there. So, Alexis.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm pleased to be here, and we are, as a company, very pleased to have you on here. Just telling you about Embassy Ceilings, a company that is owned by the Boulanger family. Boulanger family has been involved in the building material industry since more than 85 years now. And Embassy was introduced, the product itself, it was introduced in 2010. So the business is a family business, as I said, and I'm part of the third generation. Last 2 weeks, the fourth generation started to work with us, so we are really happy about that. You will see about what Manon will show you is that the product has been has been introduced more than 15 years in the market. It is very, very reliable. That's why we are really at ease to show you, and you'll have the opportunity to see how it's a product that is easy to install and that is really good quality. So with that, I will let you go with Manon. Manon has a poll for you, I think, to start things.
Yes, thank you, Alexis. So yes, before I start, I'm curious. I'd like to know where you all located. So I only had 4 options for the answers. So do your best to answer the closest to the region that that shows on the screen. So I'll just start by showing you a little bit with who we are partnering with right now. So in Canada, we are very, very well established. Obviously, we are in over 450 point of sales, and we are online with Home Depot, with Costco as well. In the United States, we started our online business in the United States approximately 3 years ago. We started with Wayfair and more recently Home Depot. And we also partnered with a national distributor who is FBM, Foundation Building Materials, and a local distributor in the Chicago area, Ranke Supply. So just so you know, we're glad that we started with online 3 years ago because we saw that there was a high demand in parts of the United States, and I'll show you a little bit later where those parts are. This is basically the Embassy system. So it's very, very easy, very short. It has 7 components. So here you see all of them. You see the tiles, the main crossbars, the secondary crossbars. You see the rail and anchor. Oh, you don't see the rail and anchor system, but you will see it in the next slide, and the installation template as well. So I'll be a little bit more detailed in the next slide. 1 second. So now you have the tiles, the crossbars. So one important point is that it is all laminated MDF. So that means that the crossbars and the tiles will have the same finish, same color. The one with the little notch in the middle of the presentation is the main crossbar. It is 8 feet long, and the secondary crossbar is 2 feet long. So we used to have only 2x2 tiles. Now, more recently, we introduced the 2x4 tile. I would say that it's gaining a little bit of sales. At the beginning, it wasn't doing so well, the 2x4s, but now that people know about it, it's probably about 20% of the tiles that are sold are now 2x4s. The first item that you see here is the installation template. So you see those 2 little notches? Well, that's used to measure the correct distance between the anchors. So you'll see a little later what I mean. This is our patented technology. The rail and anchor system is unique to Embassy, and that's what fixes your ceiling to your solid structure. So that's basically what fixes the whole, what holds the whole ceiling together. So before I continue, I just have 2 very, very short videos. Promise there's 30 seconds each. I just want you to get a better idea of how the installation is. And once you see those 2 videos, you'll have a very, very good idea. So Tao, can you play those videos for us, please?
This is not your traditional drop ceiling. This system by Embassy Ceilings installed in half the time and gives you a more modern look. It was a perfect fit for this basement bathroom remodel. I started by finding the center of the room and installing the anchors to the joist using the template they sent to get the correct spacing. Then I slid the rails into the main crossbars and adjusted the height to where I wanted it. After that, it was just side crossbars and the ceiling panels. Once you get the rhythm down, anchors, crossbars, rails, panels, the whole room comes together pretty quickly. For the corners, you just add in some pegs and lock everything in. And that's it. Ceiling complete. It looks so modern and way cleaner than a traditional drop ceiling. My clients loved it and so did I.
Okay, thank you. So now that you saw that, like I said, it's not very big projects in this case, but at least it gives you a good idea of how it's installed. So you saw it quickly on the videos, but if you look at the bottom left corner of the slide, you can see a photograph, an image of our rail and anchor system. So if you look at the rail that is PVC, they're both PVC, you see that it slides into the main crossbar in that little notch, and you see that the anchor is fixed to the solid structure. Whether it's a solid structure made of wood or made of steel, it doesn't matter as long as we have a solid structure. If you look at the rail, you're going to see 3 different levels there. So if ever, there's a reason for that. If ever the joist or the structure is not 100% leveled, you have a little bit of wiggle room here. You can put it on the 3rd level, on the 2nd or the 1st level. So this is what holds up the whole system. The tile and the secondary crossbars, they're not fixed in any way. So they just sit by gravity. So as you can see, Embassy has unique features. We sell it for many different reasons, but these I would say are the 3 major reasons why we sell Embassy. So first of all, the look. It has a nice look to it. It has a contemporary design, very clean lines, and very coffered as well. It kind of looks like a coffered look. So that's one of the biggest reasons why we sell it. Then the functionality reasons, well, obviously it allows easy access to plumbing because the tile is not fixed in any way. It's not screwed in, glued in, or anything like that. So you could easily slide it to the side and have access to your plumbing and your electrical. The third reason, and not the least, it maximizes ceiling height. So I'll explain that a little bit. Between the tile and the solid structure, it only requires 1.75 inches of clearance. So that means that your ceiling, you gain a little bit of ceiling height with it, with Embassy. When you install a traditional ceiling and you want to have easy access, you need about 4 to 6 inches so that you could push on the tile and remove it. So those extra 3 to 4 inches are really, really interesting. And that's one of the main reasons why we sell Embassy. Just 1 second. I'll be right back. 2 seconds. Okay. So this is kind of a chart to show you what I just explained. I'm comparing with other options of ceiling systems. So the first option would be another surface mount ceiling system. Obviously, they have the look because most surface mount ceiling systems are very, very nice to look at, very pleasant. They're very decorative. If I give an example, I only have in my head, I have Armstrong Woodhaven. So Armstrong Woodhaven models, they're beautiful. But obviously, when you compare it to Embassy, what they can't give you is access to your plumbing because the wood planks are fixed. So that's an example of how it would compare with other surface mount ceiling systems. Same thing with drywall. Drywall, very nice looking, very clean, but obviously that you don't have access to your plumbing with drywall. If we compare to the traditional suspended ceiling, it's kind of the opposite. So obviously it does give you access because you could push on the tiles and have access to your plumbing. But it doesn't quite have the look. Some of them are nicer than others, I agree, but it doesn't have that coffered, smooth, MDF look like Embassy. And it doesn't maximize ceiling height because you need at least 4 to 6 inches that you need to lower your ceiling. So because we have 45% of our sales that are online, and we mostly sell to DIYers, and I always say DIFM, which stands for do it for me as well. So we need to have content online. We're everywhere. We're with influencers, as you saw. We have a lot of social media campaigns, marketing campaigns, and we have a lot of content online as well. To give you an idea of what's included in our on our website, well, we have a lot of stuff, like I said, social media, images, frequently asked questions, and so forth. But the most interesting item is the calculator. So super easy to use. When you have a room you want Embassy in, you just put in the room dimensions. Let's say 15 feet, 5 inches by 12 feet. And they give you exactly what you see on this slide. So they give you the tiles, they give you the quantities in units and in boxes. So very, very easy for your quotations or to calculate your jobs. We have videos online as well. So I've shown 2, but those were from influencers. We do have a general installation video that is 5 minutes long, so it's not too bad, and it really gives you a good idea of exactly the steps to take to install Embassy. Then we have tips and tricks. For example, if you want to have a bulkhead around your ductwork and you want to use Embassy to give the same look, well, there's a video which is about a minute, and it shows you how to do that. This is just to show you that we do have options for merchandising as well. If ever you need samples, if ever you need display boards for showrooms or things like that, we have a lot of options for merchandising. If you do want a sample of Embassy, we have a few options for you. My name and my email and so forth is all at the end of this presentation, and you will be receiving this presentation. So you can just reach out to me, and it'll be a pleasure for me to have our customer service send you something that you can look at and touch and miniatures or things like that. This is one of the very interesting slides, and I'm almost getting to the Q&A, but very interesting slide, because when we first started the online in the United States, well, we're glad we did, because it wasn't, I mean, Wayfair is okay, but it wasn't a lot of volume, but enough to show us that there was some demand, and enough as well to show where our demand was coming from. So it's not really a surprise that Midwest, Mid-Atlantic are our highest demand regions, and New England as well. Our surprise was Florida, because we do have some demand from Florida. And the reason it was a surprise is because Florida does not have any basements. But we realized that they were buying it a lot for the light commercial segment, more than, you know, in the Midwest and Mid-Atlantic. So I would say that 70% of our sales are probably for basement. So this is, you know, we see it clearly on this slide where our sales are going. The reason why we talk about and we focus on residential and light commercial, and we don't have the commercial grade, is because of our fire rating. So Embassy for now is fire rated Class C. So that's why I usually talk about a focus on residential and light commercial. We are working on a ceiling system which will probably be identical in look, that will be fire rated Class A. It's a lot of work, a lot of tests, a lot of certifications. So we are working on that right now. But for now, what is available is mostly focused towards the residential and light commercial market segments. So that brings me to my second poll question. I'm curious, how many of you, or not how many, but you probably do a little bit of residential, or maybe your business is mostly residential if you're in the home building segment. I'd like to know what percentage of your business approximately is residential and light commercial. So I'm guessing there's a lot of contractors that work with home builders, because you have 75 to 100%. You have 17% of you that are in the 3/4 to. Okay, thank you. Well, that pretty much is the conclusion before the Q&A. I just wanted to finish with this slide. So we are part of AUSSIE, obviously. I always say AUSSIE. I don't know if some of you say AWCI. I hear both, but we're part of members of AUSSIE, but we're also members of other associations, national associations, regional associations, and even local home builders associations. My information, my contact information is right here. You will be receiving this slide, this presentation, so you will be able to reach out to me if ever you have any, if you see any opportunity, if you have any questions on the product, if you need samples, it'll be my pleasure to contact you as well.
All right.
The Q&As.
Yes. Do you just want to leave that slide up so people have your contact?
Yes.
Thank you. So speaking of Florida, how does the humidity affect embassy ceiling?
So regular variations of humidity, it's fine. I mean, we install all the time in bathrooms, and we even install over showers as long as the ventilation is good. Um, Embassy tolerates regular, just like furniture, it tolerates regular variations of humidity. But I wouldn't sell it, for example, somewhere where there's no heating, or one season cottage or something like that. I wouldn't do that, because then the variations would be too big.
Great, thank you. You talk about your fire rated Class C. Is embassy ceiling also have some acoustical properties?
So it's not an acoustical product, but if you want a reference, it has the same acoustical properties as gypsum, so as drywall. So some people finish their basements with drywall, just like you would finish your basement with embassy, for example.
Great. Is it possible to make a bulkhead using the embassy ceiling system?
Yes, it is. And we have a video. That's what I was mentioning. We have a video on our website that shows you how, gives you tricks on how to use embassy to finish your structure around ductwork or for a bulkhead.
And then we have last question here. Can embassy ceiling be installed on cathedral ceilings?
So because it's not fixed, the tiles are not fixed in any way. Remember, the only thing that is fixed is the rail and anchor system with the main crossbars. We don't recommend having a pitch larger than 412. So the short answer is no, it's not recommended for cathedral ceilings.
Great. Thank you so much, Manon. That concludes our Q&A portion. Thank you for joining us today. Thank you to Embassy Ceiling for sponsoring this webinar, and attendees, we'll see you next time. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Bye-bye.